Hello, Calling Up Justice community. This is Claudia Alec with a reflection on, is this a request for consultation or validation? Now, we live in this here United States, which is just chock full of dominant culture, and it means that oftentimes the institutions that are telling the stories that have enough money to really resource that storytelling and get it distributed far and wide, they're coming from dominant culture. And that means when they're telling culturally specific stories from marginalized community, oftentimes the author of the text, the producers of the project, the designers, sometimes even those who are embodying, are not representative of that culture, which can result in horrible misrepresentation. Now, it felt like progress when institutions began requesting some advice on their projects. Now, I would argue that they had to do this because of negative capitalist reactions to their work. There were negative repercussions to getting their representation really wrong. Also, people from those communities would make an outcry. There were negative social repercussions. So there are reasons why these institutions are reaching out to get consultation. That's a good thing. In a publishing context, that might be a sensitivity reader, someone reading the text after it's already been written to say, yeah, you wrote a children's story about a little girl and her hijab, but you actually got the way it's folded wrong. Or, and also actually the things that you have our mom saying, we would never say. Or the things you have them eating, we would never eat that. Sensitivity reader. You might have on a culturally specific production, you might have a dramaturg or an advisor, or maybe we'll just call him a consultant. Here's the questions. When in the process is the consultation being requested? Was it requested before the project was even committed to? Personally, I think that's the only appropriate time, but let's not let the good be the enemy of or the great be the enemy of the good. Are they inviting someone into the process before or after the director or the designers have been chosen? Are they being invited to consult on the choices that have been made or the choices that need to be made? Are they being asked to consult on items that have already been built, things that have already been invested in? Are they being asked to consult on things that can't be rolled back? Are they being asked to consult on a project after the show's already opened? Are they being requested to consult or just validate the choices already made and help them to be sold to the community? How much power does the consultant have to actually impact what happens on that stage? Also, going back to that Heisenberg principle, who's choosing the consultant? Like, did the person choose a person from the culturally specific community because they properly represent the community, or because they felt like they were a friend and a safe person who would validate their choices? Also, let's just, again, go back to the income. How much is the consultant getting compensated? And even if they're making gigantic, beautiful impacts on the work, are they receiving equitable dividends from that outcome? Ultimately, I make this resource video for our colleagues who are receiving these requests. And this specifically was made because a Calling Up Justice community member was like, I have a question. I'm not sure how to say yes to this. And low-key, I'm trying to decide if I should be mad. I'm not giving any advice about how you should be reacting to these requests. But these are some questions that you should be keeping in mind before you say yes. And for those who are coming to this from dominant culture, I would question the balance and demographics of your projects and ask, can a single consultant really solve the problems of unbalanced demographics and white dominant projects? All right, thanks, Calling Up Justice community. I look forward to you sending me more questions. This was a good one.